I think it's fair to say that Giancarlo Esposito is a universally beloved performer right now. Is that fair to say? I think it's fair to say. Whether he's playing like Fring in Breaking Bad, he's Moff Gideon in the Star Wars universe, he's the one guy who can intimidate Homelander in The Boys, he was just fantastic in The Gentleman. I mean, the dude, everybody loves Giancarlo Esposito, right? Like, I'm sure not everybody does. I'm sure he's got his detractors. I'm just saying, I don't personally think I've ever met a person that didn't really like Giancarlo Esposito. He's great. Well, anyway, he got people pretty excited a little while ago when he confirmed that he is going to be joining the MCU. He said it's a done deal. He's joining the MCU, but they're not revealing who the character is. He did kind of hint that it won't be as Professor Charles Xavier, which some people speculated he might be. He said he wouldn't be. Well, it doesn't sound like his appearance in the MCU is going to be a one and done, because he was recently at a convention and kind of asked about what's going on with the MCU. And Giancarlo Esposito said this. He said, "The MCU has knocked on my door, and it's a role you won't predict. It will be teased, and then there will be a series afterwards. The MCU's knocked on my door. It's a role you won't predict." So that probably throws out the Charles Xavier thing. So a lot of people, or Magneto, like some people speculate he could be Magneto too. It's a role you won't predict. It'll be teased, and then there will be a series afterwards. Okay. Now, the good folks over at Cinema Blend, an outlet I really like reading a lot, have for many years. I like these guys. They've taken that and they believe he's hinting he's going to be Doctor Doom. Now, I could totally see Giancarlo Esposito playing Doctor Doom. I could. But when Giancarlo Esposito says it's a role you won't predict, I think that almost disqualifies that, because I don't know about you guys, but I've seen a lot of people thinking that it could be Doctor Doom. So I think that kind of disqualifies that. A lot of other people, like Simon in the live chat, are thinking it's Sinister. Could be. He would be a great Mr. Sinister, wouldn't he? Like, because it's all about that voice. Oh my God, Giancarlo Esposito would have an awesome Mr. Sinister voice. Some people in the live chat, like Kane, is saying Apocalypse. Also, great voice. Amazing voice. But we got to take into consideration what he just said, right? He said he's going to be teased, and then he's going to get a series. Teasing might hint at Doctor Doom, because we're all pretty confident that Doctor Doom will make an appearance in Fantastic Four, right? He's not going to be the main bad guy in Fantastic Four. They're going to save that for later. But I think most of us believe he'll at least appear teased in some way. So Giancarlo Esposito says, I'm going to play in this character. I'm going to be teased, then get my own series. Here's the problem. I don't see them doing a Doctor Doom series. Right? I don't see them doing a Doctor Doom series. I don't think they're going to take Doctor Doom and Disney Plus him. I think Doctor Doom is going to be a cinematic guy. Same thing goes for, well, here's why Sinister could make sense. Guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's video, Harry's. You know, guys, in order to start the John Campea Show, I had to leave my high-paying corporate job in order to set myself up to be happier and enjoy more personal success. Because sometimes to get what you want, you have to challenge the status quo and blaze your own trail. And that's exactly what the folks at Harry's did. You see, at Harry's, they saw customers getting ripped off by questionable products in the shaving industry and decided to do something better. Harry's decided to pave their own road by making beautifully designed razors for a fraction of the price of the other big brands. Exceptional products, honest prices.
That's Harry's. I have fallen in love with Harry's, from their foaming shaving gel that feels just luxurious on the skin to their incredible razor that feels just as good in the hand as it does going over your skin. They've got rich, lathering, skin-softening body wash in scents like redwood, wildlands, and stone. You see, Harry's provides German-engineered blades made in their own factory that stay sharp longer. You can get a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, foaming shave gel, and a travel cover for just $3 at harrys.com/Campea. Don't settle for the status quo. Blaze your own trail with Harry's. Get started with a $13 trial set for just $3 at harrys.com/Campea. That's harrys.com/Campea for a $3 trial set.
Because you could tease Sinister in a number of different projects, right? There's a lot of different projects. It doesn't have to be an X-Men project either. There's a lot of projects you could tease a Mr. Sinister. Nathaniel Essex, if you will. And the idea, you could do a Mr. Sinister series that's kind of like the Highlander. That it kind of follows Sinister over the decades and maybe even centuries. Right? So kind of like a historical thing, an evolution of Sinister, if you will, up to the point where we are. Now, I'm not usually big on the idea of kind of prequel series, but a Sinister origin story kind of series that shows what leads him to where we then pick up with him, that's really not a prequel series because we haven't had Mr. Sinister yet. So Sinister could be it. That could be it. I don't think it's going to be Apocalypse because, again, I don't see them doing an Apocalypse TV series. I don't think they're going to Disney Plus Apocalypse. I don't think they're going to Disney Plus Doctor Doom. I don't think they're going to Disney Plus Apocalypse. You could Disney Plus Mr. Sinister. You could do that because I don't think a lot of the average moviegoers are familiar with Mr. Sinister. I think a lot more moviegoers are familiar with Doctor Doom. A lot more average moviegoers are familiar with Apocalypse. Not a huge amount. Now, due to the popularity of X-Men 97, Mega Tokyo is saying, what about Bastion? Bastion's a very popular character right now. I don't know if they'll go for somebody in Giancarlo's age range for Bastion, but Bastion is definitely a possibility. Again, somebody that you could totally do, tease in one movie, and then do a Disney Plus series on. You could do that with Bastion. A few of the rest of them, I don't know that you can. Regardless, the addition of Giancarlo Esposito to the MCU is one of the more exciting developments for the MCU, I think, in a while. I mean, listen, the MCU got into the habit. When comic book movies really started, you weren't getting your legit A-listers. Oh, John, what about Robert Downey Jr.? Robert Downey Jr. was not an A-lister when they got him. He had sabotaged his career a couple of times. His career was really nowhere. It was Iron Man that rejuvenated him and catapulted him back to being an A-lister. Yes, but when then they got an unknown Chris Hemsworth to be that. Chris Evans was a known name, but not really an A-lister at the time. But then a little later, they started getting names like, Robert Redford, Sir Anthony Hopkins, other legendary Oscar winners, Rene Russo. They started to get the creme de la creme of big names to come in, and that's kind of set the stage. And to do that with the Giancarlo Esposito right now, a guy who is universally beloved by just about everybody in fandom, a guy who is already in the family, by the way, because of his portrayal as Moff Gideon, that all works in their favor. So I am very curious. Look, I'll say this. While I have some guesses, and I'm sure all of us have some guesses about who Giancarlo Esposito is going to play, I don't really care who he plays. I mean, of course, to some degree I care, but in general, whoever they have him playing, I'm going to be excited about. Just don't have him play Franklin Richards, who's a wee little boy. Just don't have him play Franklin Richards and I'm good. Just don't have him play Child and I'm okay. A lot of people in line are saying Blue Marvel. Some people are saying new Nick Fury. Why would you have a new Nick Fury? We have a Nick Fury. Like, who was that was saying that in the live chat? Dick is saying new Nick Fury. We've got a Nick Fury. We don't need a new Nick Fury at this point. Maybe a Senator Kelly. John A.M. is throwing out Senator Kelly. I just don't see them doing a Disney Plus show on Senator Kelly, to be honest with you. Obviously, more and more people are saying Mephisto, so I don't think it's going to be Mephisto. A lot of people still think it's going to be Magneto. The problem is we've got Giancarlo Esposito saying, I'm going to be teased, my character's going to be teased, and then there's going to be a series. Do you really think they're going to Disney Plus Magneto? I really do not think they're going to Disney Plus Magneto. So it's wild. It's up in the air still who he's going to play. If he played Doom, would I be happy? Absolutely. If he played Apocalypse, would I be happy? Absolutely. A lot of different possibilities, but I think it's still going to be a big mystery. I don't think he's teasing when he says a lot of people aren't going to guess who it is I'm playing. So question is for you guys. What do you think? Who do you think Giancarlo Esposito is teasing that he's going to be playing in the Marvel Cinematic Universe? He says the character's going to be teased and then there's going to be a series. I think that disqualifies some people. Maybe you don't. Whatever you guys think, jump down into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts.